That was some grade A BS, but in the best possible way. But I don't know if my emotions can handle what they just did. I walked into this episode thinking Hawks was gonna die. So I'm setting my expectations up, he's gonna get skewered. And what ends up happening? Oh, they just casually say, hey, here's reinforcements. I'm walking in thinking it makes sense. You're going up against All For One, someone who can steal quirks. You don't want to go up against someone with such a large force and lose all your fighters. So a small, strong squad, Endeavor and Hawks, makes total sense. And when he's because he knows he's screwed, so he just wants to help his boy Endeavor before he gets got, and that reinforcements come, I'm thinking to myself, okay, you know what? Hawks' survival level rose up quite a bit. And if anything's gonna happen, it's not gonna happen this episode now. And the way they not only skewer him, but seemingly skewer our reinforcements, my heart can't take that. I watched the preview. Preview looks great. And it does seem like we're gonna be focusing back on this battle as well as we're gonna go back up against Shigaraki. But the thing that has me really excited is the structure, because this is a very large battle with multiple perspectives. And whether it was last week, just focusing on the brothers, and how they gave us that entire fight in its entirety, to then this episode, the first half being a bunch of different perspectives, but they were kind of smaller in scale to some of the main attractions, whether that is the Todoroki brothers, whether that's, you know, the Shigaraki stuff, the All For One stuff. While yes, those are going to get more focus over time, I like the idea. The structure just makes more sense. First half of the episode focus on a few different perspectives, and then the second half just dedicate to the Endeavor stuff, because as soon as that gets going, that's the main thing you want to see. The directing is just spot on, but I don't know if my heart can take it for the remaining episodes that we got, because Jesus. I walked in thinking my boy Hawks was going to get got, and then they raised his survival levels only to crush me even deeper. Full live reactions over on Patreon. If you want to see my full and good thought to these My Hero Academia episodes, it's over there exclusively. This season's peak. This season's absolutely peak. People can talk that like, oh, I wish it still looked like seasons 2 and 3. I don't know what you're talking about. This season is absolutely popping off visually for me. The adrenaline, the emotion, and it just feels like characters that I don't always get to see have moments to shine are getting moments to shine. And I think the thing I really appreciate about how the reinforcements came in is it highlights something that I didn't really think much about, but, you know, something that I really can kind of give a round of applause to Horikoshi is the character pairing. So when we had, like, the training arc, or the internship arc, I should have said, and, you know, different characters paired up with different heroes to learn from, the idea that usually an author in these shows, from what I can see anyway, from different battle shonens and the like, is that, okay, you build this connection, but you don't really touch upon that connection again. And the idea that not only was Hawk saved once by this kid, you know, a second time, and just the idea that, you know, student surpassing teacher in a way, it's so memorable, and it makes these dynamics feel more than just surface level plot convenience, but actually things have been built. And that's why Hawks can actually trust in having these reinforcements, because originally, like, they were kind of on standby, but it was built around Endeavor being up and about. Hawks realizing that he's, you know, his wings, his speed and everything, it's not what it used to be. So he's going in expecting that if anyone's going to go down, it's going to be him. And the idea of, like, where he's at now, it's just like the way they kind of comboed everything, and just, it was so cool, like two birds basically going at it as we have some sound waves blasting. I mean, please tell me I'm not alone. Like, prior to the reinforcements coming, that looked like Hawks' death. I was like, no, he's dead. Like, and if not, he's gonna get so skewered, he's gonna be bloody on the ground, Endeavor style. Just absolutely brilliant with the emotional directing. I mean, I don't think anything's gonna necessarily top the brothers' conversations and anguish in last week. We do touch upon it a bit in this episode, and even though it does look like he's still alive, he ain't gonna be alive forever. I mean, he has a shorter lifespan than pretty much anyone else, given that his hatred is the only reason his body hasn't shut down. If that hatred starts slowing down, I imagine it's gonna be a snowball effect of him dying. But either way, I think this is actually like probably like the second best part of the episode for me. I'm not going to say it's the best, because I think, honestly, the way they bait and switch Hawks living or dying for me is, like, my favorite thing of this episode. But it's the way that the victory snowballs in a positive way. Even though the plan mostly looked like it was a success at the start, Deku didn't go to where he needed to be. Arguably the most important person to get into a certain location. But at the end of the day, the fact that Shoto was able to defeat his brother, that W, when everyone collectively hears it, encourages them. They feel proud, they feel energized, and it immediately improves the morale, because you have to assume everyone's stressed beyond their minds going up against all these individual fights. And to hear that Shoto, just a kid for a lot of different characters' points of views, was able to overcome it, because they even say in this episode, if Endeavor, with how Endeavor is with his family trauma, he would have lost to Dabi. And that's not because Dabi's stronger, I think it's simply because that Endeavor's just not in the right state of mind. We see what happened and how he lost his cool when All For One got under his skin. And the idea that, I mean, just clearly he's at a bad point. I don't think the wound he has is enough to actually keep him down forever, but it's the emotional, like, struggles that he's going with. He's gonna have to face himself, face his own demons, if he wants to get back up. I think he can do it, but it's gonna take him a bit, and that's why it's a good thing we have reinforcements, but right now, all three of them seem like they are getting skewered. It ain't looking good. It's not looking good at all, and I don't know who I'm betting on living throughout this fight. Endeavor right now, I feel like, survives. Hawks, I'm back to where I was entering, not looking good. The other two probably? I feel pretty good about them most likely pulling through, but even then I'm up to be wrong. I don't know, like, on one hand, it's infuriating because you're like, Jesus, man, I'm walking in assuming they ain't gonna make it, and then you raise me. It's like you raise me up just to tear me down even harder. And Horikoshi, I thank you for it. It's sadistic as hell, man, but it's brilliant writing. This is an awesome endgame. It's absolutely awesome, and I don't give a shit. Something that's getting more annoying while being online, if a large portion of the internet feels a certain way, and you don't agree with it, like, people act like you're insane for not following the herd's mentality. If you like something or dislike something, you're welcome to have that opinion, but when I see people in my comment section say, insert anime channel doesn't really like this anymore, why do you? It's like, you gotta have your own opinions, because at that point, you're just following an internet celebrity from your point of view. Like, have your own opinions. If you honestly don't vibe with My Hero because of your own opinions, that's okay. But when I see mofos come up inserting anime channel name that just rage baits and drama baits every day of the week, and I'm like, you want me to change my opinion because they don't fuck with My Hero Academia anymore? Get out of here. I'm gonna keep enjoying, experiencing, like, the Endeavor family line plotline is the best thing about My Hero Academia. Both with Endeavor's emotional, physical abuse, everything that the Todoroki family went through is my favorite thing about My Hero. So yeah, I'm gonna keep on vibing, especially with how it's so relevant for the endgame. Now, of course, those are my feelings. If you actually have feelings of your own, whether you agree or disagree, I love to read them. Just please, for the love of God, keep other channels' names out of your mouth. I don't care what those people say. I care about the actual opinions of the internet and what you like to say. So let me know down below, because Hawks caught me by surprise a couple of times this episode, but let me know what you're feeling down below. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're around here, of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. So today we have Morrud, Shadow Cyber Demon, Fluid Druid, Squealatin, Andre, and also we have Darthwin Wright. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.